We will see how to implement them. We will see some examples how we can design. And what are the elements you remembered? We have aside, article, article, dialogue, figure, caption, header, footer, section, and we have a main, nav, and menu. We have div and span. So many other elements will come. These are the basic first elements you need to know. Don't think that these are only the elements. Body section contains lot of elements, but these are mainly used for designing layouts. And already I told you the purpose of this. SID is used for advertisements. That means SID indicates that the content which is not related to the site or page. Article about highlights, and dialogue, optional interaction, open, close. Figure caption are used for images. And top margin of the page, if you want to show anything, we define it header. Bottom margin, footer. Between header and footer, section. And main content is designed by using main. So main, right? This is main. And navigation bars are designed by using nav. Inside navigation items are designed by using menu. And if you want to display category of contents, we have to define by using divs. Div is for blocked content. Span is for inline content. These are the basic things. Now today we will see how to use them and how to implement in various designs. But directly HTML cannot present everything. For that we need little bit CSS. So temporarily we will use some CSS also to achieve a basic design. Later, when you learn CSS, you will learn a lot of things about CSS. You will able to achieve so many concepts. So as of now, just you can practice what effects I explained in class. That's enough. Later you will learn all the effects and handling them. Okay. So let's first use all these and design one layout first. Let's see. I'm showing you a basic layout, how to design, and some effects we will use. First, let's open our project. And this is our full stack application. And I will add a new HTML file in public folder. I will add a new HTML file by name some layout.html. That is layout.html. Okay, in this layout HTML, we are designing doc type HTML. Basic structure already we know. Head. In head, we design title. I will just give the title as layout. Others in head section, I am not using everyday, not required. Just I will keep with head. That's enough. In body now, in the body section, let's design the layout. Initially, you see when we run this page, it is empty. There is nothing inside this. Now, first, I am writing here header. So header, for header, I'm writing some Amazon shopping. That's just a header I given. Okay. Next, below the header, I have a section. And in section, I will just write some text and contents later. Now below that section, we will have a footer. Inside the footer, I am giving some copyright 2022 like this. We can get a copyright symbol by using ampersand copy semicolon. If you remembered, I told you these are called what kind of elements? Raw text elements. These are called raw text elements. Raw text elements which are used to present so without any tags, right? Raw text. Okay. Now you see we have a header and a section. Okay, let's see. This is header and section. Header and footer. Section is between header and footer. Okay. Now inside this section, we will design three areas. One area is nav, that is navigation, and another area I will give menu main. That means inside section we have a navigation main, and one more I will give aside. Aside is for ads. That means inside the section, we have three containers. So three containers, nav, main, and aside. In nav, what I am doing here, I am creating a menu. Inside the menu, we want to display line by line. Then I will use a div. In the div, I given home. Another div I given electronics. Another div I given as footwear. Another div I given as fashion, something like this. Okay. Inside the main, I will give here some shopping online. In this again, we can keep divisions. I written as shopping and online, something like this. And below that, another div. In the div, I written some option like so sale some so 50% off on electronics. Suppose here I am giving some highlights, then I will write an article here. In the article, so sale on suppose I define some date, suppose 02/01/2022, like this I define. Just rough article option I define, sale ends on, right? Like this I define. Now these are article, main, divs, and aside. In aside, usually what we do, we put an ads. In aside, we will design some ads. Just I will put ads, word, just word we will keep there. Okay. Now everything looks okay. Now what I will do is in the main, I will add one more dialogue. Dialogue is nothing but here I will say help, help. So just help, just message I am defining that. So all these contents are ready. And you can see we have a header and we have the section and footers and we have the menus and we have all the other contents available in this. That means whatever I discussed in the last session, this is the original size actually. That is the original size of page. Actually, I am zooming. Control plus, it will zoom and show larger. But you have to keep it to 100% and design. This is the original size of document here. So now we need to give a good appearance for this. So all these elements we have used. So if you want to put pictures, generally what we do in the main, suppose I want a figure. So I will keep some image. Generally image will have an fig caption. Fig caption I given as suppose Samsung TV, something like this. So like that we can add, but actually we don't have any pictures and all we will put in later stage. Currently just we kept some text content only inside it. So this is ready. So we designed everything. We kept all these in our page, but appearance we need to give in a proper way. So temporarily I will teach you some styles, but seriously we will learn about styles in a separate session. So CSS. So, but we will not wait until CSS. Every day when we design some examples, we will start using CSS so that we can get familiar with CSS and we can master CSS by the time we reach CSS. So we can design good examples with them. So how to write styles? So many techniques are there. Don't hurry into questions. What I explain, just try them, right? Because how to write styles, how to apply styles, lot of techniques are there. We don't need to put stress on those techniques as of now. You just learn and use only what is discussed in the class in the current situation. Okay. So what you do is, first point, I will tell you some points. So add style container in a head section. In head section, you have to add a style container in head section to apply some styles. That means what you have to do, we have a head section. Here we have to define style and add some style here container. This is the first step. Now what we do is, in that style container, we have to write the styles. So that means you can add styles into styles container, into the styles container. So you can add styles. Generally style is written like this. You will have a selector, and a block. In that block you will have an attribute colon its value, and a semicolon, and another attribute and its value. Like this you can add any number of attributes and values, and you have to put like this. Actually this selector, so many types will be there. You are going to learn those gradually in various examples. As of now, that means, here remember, note, selector is nothing but selector defines defines where you want to apply effects. Where you want to apply effects, that means to which element. Okay, to which element you want to apply effects, that is defined by using selector. That means selector tells where you want to apply effects. That means these are set of effects. Where to apply these effects, that is decided by whom? Selector. Selectors in CSS, so many will be there. As of now we will not deal with all of them. Some I will explain. You can try them. Okay. Initially, first you have to write the styles in this way. So basic thing, put the styles in head section by using a style element. Inside that style we have to write selector with some attributes and values. Styles contains lot of selectors, lot of attributes and values. So I will explain few important attributes to use today. Today I will tell you some attributes. Tomorrow you will see some more attributes. Example wise we will learn attributes more, right? I will tell you some style attributes. Some style attributes that we regularly use in our designs. As of now, some style attributes I will tell you. You can try them. The style attributes I will show you also how to apply them. One is background hyphen color. Background hyphen color. So this is used to set background color. Background color. We have color. This is used to set text color. Text color is foreground color. Generally, what we use regularly, I will give those attributes first. Later, you are going to learn all of them. Simultaneously, you will learn background color, color, and we have text align. Text align is used to set alignment. So left, center, right, justify. Like alignments you can give by using text align. Another, you can give border. Border. Border is actually set border. Set border. So here we will use border size, and the border style and border color. Three things we have to apply: border size, border style, and border color. Actually, border size, we can say 2 pixels like this. 2 pixel, 3 pixel, 4 pixel, how much size you want, you can define. Border style, you can apply like solid border. So you can apply like dotted border. You can apply like dashed border. Border have different styles, you can apply them. And color, you can say red, green, blue, whatever color you want, you can apply. So what we are going to use regularly in this particular design, I am showing them. So border color, background color, text alignment. One more we will use margin. Margin we have left, so we have margin right, and we have margin top, and we have margin bottom, and you have simple margin. If you put margin, it will put all directions. All directions. What is margin? Already we learned in general body tag. We discussed already. One more we will use regularly: padding. What is padding? I will tell you. Padding also we have left. Padding also we have right. So padding also we have top. Padding also we have bottom. And padding we have padding. It is all directions. All directions. Actually, what is padding? What is margin? I will show you. See, for example, we are designing something like this. Suppose this is your page. This is your entire page. This is entire page. Now in this page, that is the page. In this page, you have some paragraph. You have some paragraph in the page. We kept some paragraph information. I am just picking up some paragraph like this. Suppose we have some paragraph information in the page. This is some paragraph information I am having. Now important is, around this paragraph we have some border. This is the border. Around the paragraph we have border. Now the space around the border is called margin. The space around the border is called margin. This is top margin, this is right margin, this is bottom margin, and this is left. And the space around the paragraph and border, this is called padding. This is called padding. Understood? Padding means the space between the paragraph and border. The paragraph and border is called padding, and the border and page is called margin. Margin. That means you have to correct set spaces actually. That means you need to space. That means if I give padding top, what will happen? Padding top means it will adjust like this. Padding left, padding right, padding top, padding bottom. You can apply the distance here. Margin means what? Margin means it will apply for this one. Margin left, margin right, margin top, margin bottom. That will be for entire content. What is padding? The distance between the paragraph and the border. We call that as padding. So this is basic thing we have to know. Okay, let's apply this first. First we will apply this and see. Okay, let's see. I will go here and this is the output we have. Now let's go to the head section. In the head section, we need to write style. Okay. First, I told you selector. Selector means as of now, to which element you want to apply, directly use that element name. Suppose I want to apply effect for header. We will use header. This is called as selector. Selector indicates where you want to apply the effects. So we have to write a block. What effects you want? I will write like this. Background color. I will use some tomato. That is the background color. Color. Color is some white because background color is kept something else. Then you can see I'm using these effects only what I given to you, background color and color. And you see the background color, it will apply like this. It will apply like this. For your understanding sake, I am just zooming little bit, but actually it should be in 100%. So now see here, I want this center align. Then what you have to do? Text align. What? Center. Okay. Observe carefully. There is no space around the text. That means there is no space around the text. There is no space around the text. To adjust the space around the text, what you have to do? Padding. Padding. Not around the border. We want around the text. Then what you have to use? Padding. You want to set padding all directions or individually you can write. That means you can write padding top how much, then padding bottom how much, padding left right how much, or you can simply put padding, it will put all direction. Suppose padding 5 pixels and you see it will display like this. Some space around the content. Some space around the content is applied for that. You give more padding 15 pixels, then you see more space around the content. That is padding. If I give margin, observe carefully. If I give margin as 10 pixels, then margin will be all directions. Huh? Suppose I given margin as 50 pixels, then you see entire content will adjust. Margin means the distance between the page and the border. So we don't want margin, we want only padding. So that is enough. This is the style we given for header. Padding I will change to 5 pixel. That is enough. As of now, we will use these options. So we have these options. Okay, this is fine. Now I want to apply similar effect, same type of effect to footer also. Then you don't, if you want the same effects to footer also, no need to write again. You can just put here selector, comma footer. That means it will apply the same effects for header and footer. But for footer, you want a different effect, then you have to write in the next category. That means in the next block, you have to write for footer. Currently, I want header and footer in the same way. I will use header, comma footer. It will apply for both. That means for header and footer, we are displaying some effect. Okay. Next, in the styles, what we do here, I'm using background color and everything. Currently, I'm not using any border. We can use border. Suppose if you want border, observe here, I'm writing border. I told you 3 values. One is border thickness. Border thickness, suppose 5 pixel. Then border style. Border style, I said solid. Then border color. Border color is some black. And you can see it will apply border like this. I can give border style instead of solid. I can give dotted border. Dotted border will give like this. I can give border like dashed border, which you will learn all the values you will learn in CSS. As of now, just simple you need to understand. Suppose I will just give border. So a solid, that means it will be solid border. It will be like this. Thickness I want to decrease. Then thickness 1 pixel. then a very thin border will be there. Border is there, very thin border we are applying for the content. Very thin border is there. So we have a border defined for that. We have a header and we have a footer. Actually, when you apply border, you can also apply border radius. Border radius. Border radius is nothing but, so it is a curved border you can keep. That means how many pixels you want, you can keep curved border. What you can do is, you can see now, for after writing border radius, border radius, border radius, I am giving 10 pixel. Then you can see the border will be curved like this. You can see the border is curved for that. The border is curved. This is the radius we are giving. So we can give border radius. That means, so 20 pixel border radius, it will display like this. We can keep the border radius curved, right? We are keeping the blocked contents curved. So that is top and bottom. That's fine. Okay, here extra, you have seen border radius. Suppose you want to increase, decrease the border radius, you can adjust by pixels. That means you have to give in pixels. In pixels, you have to give the border radius. Okay. Next, we have options. Height. We have to define the height of element, and the width, you have to define the width of element. We can set height and width for element. For example, you see here, this between header and footer, all this is present inside. Between header and footer, all that information is present. See, this is header and this is the footer. Between header and footer, only one option is there. What is it? Section. That means you have all these contents inside section. Then what I am doing now here, I will just give like this. I will change this border radius to 5 pixel, 4 pixel. That is enough. I don't want such rounded things. This is okay. Now I will go here. We have to write section. For section, what I am doing, section. So we are defining for section, we are configuring. So height is, so some 400 pixels. You can see the height is adjusted to 400 like this. That's your wish. You can adjust how much height you want for the header and footer. You can define them. This is adjusting the width and height of the content. Width and height of the content. Okay. Now that is height only we adjusted. Section height is this. That's enough. For section, height is adjusted. That is enough. Okay. Now I hope you understood all these things. There is no confusion, right? Border color, background colors, text alignments, borders, how we can apply, what is margin and what is padding. It is clear to everyone, right? So curved already I given, right? Right. Curved is nothing but you have to define border radius, right? So how many pixels you give, that depends on that. Now, next option is, after that, next what you have to learn is how to divide content into multiple columns. How to divide content into multiple columns. It is a very common concept in styles, generally very common concept in styles, which I will show you. So here I will give a simple point. So distribute contents into multiple columns. How to distribute contents into multiple columns? For that, actually, to distribute contents into multiple columns, there are several techniques I will tell you. First, you can apply that. You can define that by using, we can define by using display as grid. You can use display as grid. Display grid is used to distribute your content into multiple columns. And very important, grid uses grid template columns. Grid template columns. Here you have to tell how many columns to distribute. That means you have to define how many columns you want. You have to define by using grid template columns. Actually, here you have to define how many columns, and their size you have to mention. And remember, maximum number of columns you can divide in a page is 12. Max 12 columns you can divide. Whenever you are designing a web page, remember this forever. A web page cannot show more than 12 columns. More than 12 columns means the size. That means maximum number of columns that can be divided for a page is 12. 12 columns you can divide, not more than that. So when you divide into columns, you have to do this. And very important is display grid. And after that, grid template columns. Grid template columns. Observe carefully. Now, here in this page, which one you want to distribute into columns? Currently, observe carefully in our page, in this page, if you have seen in this page, this is one container. Understood? That is one container. Which container it is? That container is now. And this is another container. So this is another container. This is entirely kept in main. And this is another container. Ads is in another container. That means how many containers are there? 3. So how many columns we want to distribute the section? 3 columns we want to distribute the section. So let's go to the section. Here we have to use display grid. Remember, display has a lot of things. Don't worry about them. Just learn only what I am telling in class as of now. Display grid, okay. Then it will not affect anything. It will not affect anything. So just some spaces adjusted, right? Now, how many columns you have to tell? Grid template columns. Grid template columns. Here you have to tell every column how much width you want. Every column how much width you want, you have to tell. That means here we have to tell the column width. Remember this point here. Note, you can define column width in pixels or fractions. That means in pixels means you can write here, very important, pixels means maximum 1200 you can give. And fractions, fractions means maximum 12 you can give. It is always good to use fractions, because what is difference is pixels have fixed size. Fraction advantage is it will adjust according to browser. That means if you are adjusting browser, if you are watching on mobile, it will fit to mobile. I told you responsive, na? To create responsive design, in the head section we used meta. I told you that meta is not only the option for responsive. There are so many other things. This is second. That means if anybody asks how to make a page responsive, one is meta, another one is display grids. Not only these two, several other things will come. As of now, up to now, we learned 2 things. One is meta, another display grid. So which is best? Give in fractions instead of giving in pixels. That means you can give in pixel, doesn't matter. That means how? Left panel, I want 200 pixel. Then center panel, I want 600 pixel. Then how much now right panel can be? I told you that you have to share between 1200 pixels. That means it should be how much? 400 pixels. Like that you have to divide. but it is always good to write in fractions. What we can do first, three fractions left, right? And suppose six fractions center, and three fractions right. Right? That means three fractions left panel, three fractions right panel. Or if you think this can be seven fractions, you can keep it two. Understood? That means in the middle, if you have more information, then you can keep more, right? So I will show you here. Suppose if I keep like six and here three, and you can observe here, it will distribute like this. And see, already it is distributed in a perfect way. Navigation bar left side, and this main is in the center, and ads in the right side. I don't want this much space in right side. Then what you can do, you can keep here. So 8, am I right? So, or you can give one fraction here. That means we can distribute like this. Then it, you see, advertisements will go here. That means more space for the center. Suppose I am giving here as 4 fractions or 2 fractions, then you can see it is not correctly adjusted. So if you give more values, later what happens is it will disturb the content. If more content is being added, they come to next line. This we have to avoid. So as of now, if you give more values, it doesn't show effect because we don't have much content. Later, if you have content, this will disturb the entire layout. It will come to next line. So always share. How many? 12 fractions. That means here I can give as suppose 7, and here I can give as 2. Then it will be better. This is enough. One more option is there. This section I need to shift a little down, entire section down, because it is attached to header. Na? Then what do you say? I want to shift the section a little bit down. That means I want some space above. That means, so we need to define what is it? Margin top. Margin top I given 20 pixel, right? Margin top we need to do, not padding. We don't use padding, we use margin. Padding is used when border is there. We don't have border. Na? So when to use padding? When there is an border. So padding means the distance between the content and border. Here you don't have border. So padding is not the right option. Padding is only for content and border. Right here we have to give margin. You can give margin top and it will give like this. Right. Now still so many things are there here. So many options are there. Okay. So I hope you understood how to divide into columns. As of now, only simple point. What is it? Display grid. After that, grid template columns. You have to divide in pixels and fractions, and very careful. This is very important. This is very important. Actually, when you are dividing into grid, you have to make sure that you see, I'm having a section actually. This is section. In this section, how many containers you kept? How many containers you kept? Those number of divisions you have to give. Suppose what happened here, how many containers I kept? 3 containers actually. One container is nav, another container is main, another container is aside. That is the reason I am choosing to divide into 3. But observe carefully, 3 containers are there and I am deciding to divide into 2 fractions. That means I will give 3 fractions left and 9 fractions right. Means how many columns? 2 columns. You are trying to divide 2 columns, but inside there are 3 containers. Then see what will happen. It will disturb like this. Ads will come here. Because how many containers you are having, those number of columns you have to divide. How many main containers you are having. Remember, inside this, there can be other container. We don't care. Inside this, there can be so many containers. We don't care. The main container is important for us. Main, how many containers are present? If you give a wrong value, then it will come to next line. It will come to next line. So as per our design, how many containers we have in section 3? So how many columns we need to define? 3. 3 columns you have to define. Otherwise, the next one will come in the next line. Okay. So that means here I will define some 7 fractions, and here I will define as 2 fractions. Right. So then it is going to display in this way. This is one option ready. Okay. Now, one more important is there. Okay, this is ready. We have header, we have footer, and see, there is a figure. I will do one thing. I will write here figure. For figure, what I am doing is height for figure as 150 pixels and width for figure as 100 pixels, and border for figure I am giving as 2 pixel, so dotted, and I given some red, something like this, and you can see the figure contains that border. I haven't kept any picture because we haven't learned about pictures. Later we will learn. Just for separation concerns, I am designing it. I want some space around this text and the border. Now what you have to do? For figure, we have to define padding. Padding I will define as some 10 pixels. Now you can see some space will be there. Some space is adjusted. That's okay. You can add a lot of things here. We can add a lot of things. For example, aside is there. This is aside area. This is aside area. For aside, I can put a border. You see. Now what I am doing aside. For aside, what we are doing? We are giving border. Border how many pixels? So border I will give as 2 pixel solid and red. So I will give that. Then it will be like this. It will be defined like this. That means it is having some border. And for aside, of course, you can put height if you want. Height how much? Suppose 120 pixels height only I want. Then it will be like this. You can adjust the width, you can adjust the height. I want some spacing, then we can put padding. Padding how many pixels? Some 20 pixels. Some space will be there. It depends on how much you want. That means height I will give as some 70 pixels. Only this much will be there. We can adjust accordingly. We can configure accordingly, right? So this is okay. That is aside we kept there, and this we have defined. Now one more option is there. So we have article. For article, I am giving background color as red. And for article width, I am giving as 200 pixel. And article color, I am giving as white. And article padding I will give as some 5 pixels. Then you can see article looks like this. That means it will say that sales ends on this particular date. And for article, see what I am doing extra. I am defining as border as 2 pixel solid red color, same color, and I am giving border radius. Border radius is 20 pixel. Then article looks like this. You can place wherever you want, that you will learn in the later stage. This is article that we have defined. Article we have configured. We have article, we have figure, we have header, so many things. Let's design the navigation. You see left side, there is a navigation bar. There is a navigation bar. Inside the navigation bar, you observe here, inside the navigation bar, we are creating menu. Inside the menu, we are having some items. So what are those items? Div. Is div used only here? Div is not used only here. It is used in so many other locations also. Na? Then what happens is, in the styles, if I write div, it will affect everywhere. Then what you have to do is, you can write like this, in nav div. Nav space div. This indicates that it will apply only for the div when it is present in nav. When it is present in nav, div, what I am doing, observe here. For div background color, as red. Okay, color as white. Text align. I will not give text align. Padding. Padding I will give as some 5 pixels. So 5 pixel padding. And for this div, I will give as every div margin top. Margin top as 10 pixel. Top it will have 10 pixel. And every div width I given as 150 pixels. And you can see that the divs in navigation will be like this. That means the divs in navigation bar are defined in this way. And very important is entire navigation is present here. We can move little left, little right, whatever you want you can define. Suppose I will give this color same as header footer, tomato color I am giving, then it will be in this way. In this way it will not affect every div, it will affect only here. You can adjust so many things now. So you can use border what radius. You can give border radius as some 20 pixel, and you can see it will be like this. That means you can give padding here. Padding I will give more 10 pixels, then it will be better. And very important is you observe there is some space. You observe here there is some space between left and here. There is some space. Then what you can do is this navigation bar already it is there at its position only. But from its position, if you want to shift backward, because already its position not set by default, it have a position backward. If you want to set for the navigation, you can give here margin left. Margin left you can write minus 50 pixel. 50 pixel means it will move right side. So if I give minus 50 pixel, it will go left. So I will give margin as minus 30 pixel, then it will be little better. That means from where you want to keep the content, you can adjust that. Negative values you can configure for that. This is a general thing. That means in this what we have done, we have applied the effects, we have configured the effects just to get a layout like design. Layout like design. Later we will design lot of effects and concepts, but this is one option. Okay, so this is, in this we have used all our options, but actually this dialogue is missing. That help is not displayed anywhere inside the page because dialogue uses an attribute called open. If open attribute is set, then only dialogue will display. You can see dialogue will display here. Later with CSS we can control, we can open, we can close. With JavaScript we can move wherever you want, you can keep its position. As of now, so just open, it will open. If you remove this open, then dialogue will not be displayed. Dialogue will be displayed only when you set it to open. When you set it to open, then dialogue will display there. For that also we can add effects, colors and everything we can configure. But this is a simple one. This is a basic layout. So once you start learning effects and all, you can design lot of complex examples. This is very basic level. That means this is our first example, right? And this is too much for a HTML learner. That means at HTML level, nobody try to go into CSS. They will first learn complete HTML, then they start learning CSS and all. But we will not do like that. We will start using CSS and we will try to get know about CSS while learning HTML itself, so that we can master the designs. Okay, so I hope everyone understood and you can design this now. I will post this entire example. I will post this entire example into our classroom. Whatever I have designed, I will post this entire example into the classroom. You can try this. You can see and try this. Okay, I hope everything is clear. Is there any confusion? Online and offline people, any confusion? No, everything is clear, right? So understood how to handle this. That means later I will take the doubts. If you have any doubts, online people, you can lower your hand. Doubts I will take check later. Right, right, fine. So this is the basic design, how we can handle that, right? So let's do one thing. Up to this, everything looks okay. That means now we designed a layout and we created it. Once we configured the layout and defined it, now next step, this example I am posting here, I already told you who is this. Already we learned about pixels, right? I told you the grid is defined in pixels or it is defined in fractions. Huh? It is defined in pixel or fractions, right? If you are still doubt, at the end of the session, I will get back to you. Already I explained that. What is different between pixel and fraction? Pixel means how many pixels we can give? 1200 pixels. Fraction means how many fractions we can give? 12. 12 fraction. What is difference? Pixel is fixed size. Fraction will adjust according to window. Adjust according to window. For example, see here, this is the page. I will copy this page and I will show you in my computer. Here I am having a testing emulator here. So this is Chrome. Okay. Yeah. And here I have a mobile testing emulator. You can see on mobile, it looks like this. On mobile, it looks like this. It fits accordingly. It fits accordingly. So if I am rotating that, then it will be in this way. It will be in this way. It will be displaying in this way. So it is going to display that content and showing the content. It fits according to the mobile. Fits according to the mobile. You don't need to try this. I told you an alternate way. Na? You don't worry about how to get this mobile. That is not the main concept for you. Okay. How to, I told you how to handle this. What you do, you have to go to, so developer tools, inspect. Huh? You go to developer tools, inspect, and in inspect, you will find here an option. Yeah. This is toggle device. What you can do, you can click on that and you can test on various device screens, right? You don't need to try on that, right? So how to handle? I hope everything is clear this, right? Now, once we know this layout, we will see some more designs and how to handle and how do we work. We will see some more designs. Let's take one example now. I hope you can try this and design. Suppose let's take an example. Amazon, we will take Amazon site. Let's scroll down. In Amazon site, you see this is the footer of Amazon. Now, can we design this? The footer of Amazon, we can design this. Let's see some basic things. Okay. So let's see some basic things. Only footer of Amazon, right? Let's see. Means below all this, we will see later. Only this part we will see. Back to top. And you see back to top and these options are there. Links and everything you will learn later. Just this alignment we need to achieve. This alignment we need to achieve. This is the footer actually. What we will do now here, let's go into the design now. Let's create a new page. Let's create a new page and I will say Amazon footer .html. Okay. Here, let's create the design doc type HTML head. I will give head. Yeah. And here title some Amazon footer. Okay. And here we will go to the body. In this, we will design directly only footer. Okay. And above the footer, we have a div. In this div, we have an option back to top. We have an option back to top. That is the div we are having back to top below this footer. And observe carefully. As per the design, this you can achieve now as of now. Actually, what to do, how to access this div? Because there can be lot of divs in my page. In CSS, when you write a div, it will apply everywhere. That is the reason we have another technique now. What you will do is you can give an ID for div. Every div can have a reference ID. In CSS, we can access that ID and apply the effects. You will learn so many things, IDs, classes, so many things will be there. As of now, I will keep an ID for the div. What is the ID? I will say back to or back. Okay. How to access this in the header? What we have to use? Style. Now I cannot write div because it will affect every div. We can access that ID. IDs are accessed by using hash. IDs are accessed by using hash. Hash ID. What is it? Back. You cannot directly access back. It thinks that back is some element name, but it is not element name. It is an ID name. ID name is referred with hash. IDs are referred with hash. What is it? Back. Now what we have to define here? So background color. Background color I will give as some slate gray. Slate gray I am giving background color. And I will give color. Color as I give as white. And text align I will give as center. That means you can see that will be applied for our page. Let's run this our page. It looks like this. We want some space around it. Then you know what we have to do. Padding. Padding is suppose 10 pixels. 10 pixels padding will be there. Now one more extra I will tell you, which you can try now. You can apply in the styles. That means text effects. Text effects in CSS. You can try these two. One is font size. Font size. That means pixels. How many pixels you want, you can define. Another one, font family. Font family means you can apply like Arial. You know font names now. I hope if you don't know, go to format menu of Notepad, or you can do open control panel. When you open control panel, in your control panel, you will have, in the control panel, you will have fonts category. Go to fonts category. These are all the font names. Huh? You can use these names. You can use these names. You can apply those names. Okay. That means what you can do, you can use these names. Suppose you want Arial. So you want Times New Roman like this, like sans serif like this. You can add the font names and you can display. That is font family. You can apply any font. And one more, font weight. Font weight, you can give bold. And if you want italic, you can give font style. Font style, you can give italic. Font weight bold, font style italic. These two things we can apply. So these are related to basic text effects. Lot of text effects will be there. You will learn gradually. As of now, we will try this. Let's see now. So for this, I will give font family. What is the family? Arial. That means you can see the back to top font style will change a little bit. I want size to increase. Size to increase. Then what else we can apply? Font size. Font size some 20 pixels. Then you can see font size increases. I want some thickness. Then what we have to do? Font weight. What you can give? Bold. You can see thickness will come. That's how we can configure the option. Okay. Now below this we have a footer. Now observe the Amazon website. In the footer, so these mouse over effects and all we can control later. So many are there. We will see. Don't directly think that in the first day of HTML you will design Amazon website, right? So these are very basic level things. We will achieve 100% design once you are good with complete CSS, Bootstrap, lot of things you have to learn. First day itself, generally people ask, sir, in YouTube I have seen like this, how to design. Are you serious? Right? You are in the first beginning days, man. You cannot think like Facebook designs, YouTube designs. You will go there once you start exploring all these step by step. You will able to do that. That's nothing complex. But for that, lot of things you have to handle. Exact replicates we can create once we are good with CSS. Okay. Now tell me, how many columns we need in footer? 4. So how many containers I need in footer? How many containers we need in footer? 4 columns means 4 containers we need. What are those containers? Div. This is one container, another div. This is another container, So another div, this is 3 and this is 4. Understood? We have to use 4 containers in this, right? These are 4 containers. Okay. Now first, just for your understanding sake, I will write call 1. Okay. This one is call 2, and this one is call 3, and this one is call 4. As of now, you can observe, so all are displayed one below another. How to distribute this to 4 columns? I hope you can tell now. So where we have to write for footer na? For footer, what we have to do? Display what? Grid. Next, grid template columns. How many? 4 fractions. 4 fractions. 4 fractions, huh? But we want 4 na? We can use 3 fractions, like 3, 3, 3, and 3 fractions. That means how many fractions? 12. Out of 12, we have to divide that. Okay. And depending on how many containers you are having also. Now you can see 4 columns are ready. 4 columns are ready. Now inside this, now footer is having height. Suppose I given footer height as 300 pixels. Footer have a background color. Background color is light slate gray. Light slate gray I'm using, and color I defined as white. Like this I define, and I give little bit like this. That's enough. You can see it will be like this. Or I can just keep here light black is there, like black I will give. So, and I can keep like this now. We can add different types of colors, and we need one more option here. I will give padding. Padding is 20 pixels. Padding top I will give. Padding top I given as 20 pixels. Then it will be little bit like this. Or padding all directions 20 pixels. That will be better. It will be like this. Now inside this, we need to design these options, right? Actually, we can mix the correct colors, but for that we need to learn some color combinations. I told you RGB colors we can use, color codes we can define. Later I will explain those options, how we can exactly mix the color and get that actually. Now I hope you can design the rest of the part. Now here, what is this? This is get to know. Get to know. As of now, we haven't learned any headings, any paragraphs. Everything use divs only. Understood? Everything use divs only. Div span, div spans. Everything designed with div span. Actually, you can observe when you inspect. When you inspect the page of these people, this is the page. You can inspect the page of these people. This is the footer area actually. You can see that is the footer area. Yeah, this is the footer area. Everything div only. Am I right? You observed everything divs only. Means everything is designed with divs. These classes also you are going to learn in the next stages, how we can apply the classes. Currently, I am not using class. I am using IDs. IDs. I will tell you about the classes also. Everything divs. That means see here. So I will do one thing just for your understanding sake. Here I will put a div. And what is the div as per this? Get to know us. I will copy that here. Okay. Next. Here again I will give a div. And what is it? I will say connect with us. And I will copy that here. Okay. Next. Another div. So make money with us, right? Okay, copy, and I will keep that here. Fine. One more div inside this. What is it? One more option we have, let us help you. That means we have another option, let us help you. Now you can see those all options are here. And but very important is all these IDs, I will give an ID as title. Now this also have an ID title. That means by the ideal title, that means we are using title. We are using title as an ID. as an ID for all of this. That means now you can access all these headings with one reference. What is it? Title reference. That means now what we will do here, we will add how to access hash title. We will say font family. What is it? Arial. And font weight, we will say bold. And that's it. I defined that option. Little bit font size. Font size some 16 pixels. 16 pixels like this. Then it will give that appearance in this way. The appearance in this way. Now, very important is under this, we need all these about us, careers, press releases, Amazon. As of now, you have to design them. Suppose I will design in connect us. Three options are there: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Okay. Then what I will do here, let's go to this panel now. And here we have to create another div. So this div, and remember, this div is one container. In that again div, this div is Facebook. Okay, another div. This is Twitter, and another one. This is Instagram. Like this we define. And here I given an ID for this. ID for this. The ID for all of them, right? ID is like suppose subtitles. Subtitles like this. You must be very careful in accessing this, right? What I will do now, I will access that hash subtitles. Okay. In that there is a div. Am I right? In every subtitles there is a div. Every div space. Every div I will give here as a margin top. Margin top 20 pixel I am giving. And font family is Arial like this. And that's it. As of now I am giving, and it will display in this way, right? We are designing in this way, right? That is how we arranged the content and configured the content. Actually, lot of other links and effects later you will learn, but our intention is to create this presentation. And I hope you can try this entire design now, right? You can try this. You try this, and only this much is enough. Okay. Only this much is enough. You try this and submit in the class this design complete, that strip. And if you can do that, then now in the next session, today this is enough, right? You try this. In the next session tomorrow, we will discuss about how to design other layouts. That means how to display other contents. We will discuss about how to display other content. That means headings, paragraphs in HTML, how to present the other contents. So in the next session we will learn about it. Okay. Tomorrow we'll continue, right? This entire example I will upload into classroom. Now you have seen this. Based on that you have to try this also. I will upload this sample design. I will upload. Rest of the part you have to create by yourself. Okay. Rest of the part you have to create by yourself. You have to design everything by yourself. If you can do, then I will give you some more tasks. Okay. Then we will go more complex designs and create them. Tomorrow we'll continue. Okay. Right.